Hey guys, so this is a different type of video. This is actually a confession, and this is a really hard video for me to make, and I've been putting it off for 2 days. I haven't slept very well the last 2 nights. You can see the bags under my eyes. Last night was a difficult night, and the reason is it all comes down to my trading. So on Thursday, I lost $670 of real money, and it's one of the biggest losses I've had to date. And it comes high on the heels of having a really good start to going live again on Monday with a 400 win on Netflix. Now, the reason this video is so hard for me to make is because I find it embarrassing and shameful how I got myself into this situation. And you know, here I am sharing things with people and explaining how disciplined you have to be and stick to your guns and stick to your plan. And here I was just being so stubborn that I would not accept a loss. I would not accept a freaking loss. And it got worse and worse and worse until I cut my loss. And what it means, to add insult to injury, is that I've now gone below 25k again. Now, this has put me in a really difficult situation mentally, because today's Saturday. So, this happened on Thursday. I didn't trade yesterday. I decided that I needed a break, and I just sat in front of the TV all day watching movies. Maybe not the best way to spend my time, but something that just kept me away from it. Today's Saturday, as I've said, and this has been going on in my head for the last 40 hours. Let me show you what I did. So I was down about $150 thereabouts up until I saw this. Now, I went live on Monday of this week that gone, and I knew that I was going to have to take a lot smaller size, which I was doing, and it was working okay. Now, what I noticed was that in the first half hour, stocks tended to be quite choppy. The patterns just weren't emerging as they normally do. And it was only after about 10 o'clock, and I mentioned this to a couple of friends in chat. It's only after about 10 o'clock that the patterns start kind of working out, and they're a lot easier to read. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I had lost about $150, $200, a little bit more, by about 10 o'clock, 9:45. Now, my maximum loss per day is $100. So I was already going over and beyond that. But what I found interesting was that after 10 o'clock, I was clawing back those losses. And actually, I didn't get back into the green on any of those days, but I was coming close. So this kind of showed me there's a pattern emerging. So this happened about 12 o'clock. So let's go through this. Once again, this is difficult, but it's something I need to do. So 12 o'clock, which is when we know we get the choppiness in the markets, I saw SRPT spiking up. Now, this was already up 25% on the day. This is a really, really strong stock. And what I noticed was that it was beginning, actually, let me get my pen out again. What I noticed is it was beginning to make new highs, and it was breaking out above this 42, what is it, about 42.75, 42.50, pardon my drawing. And I decided to get in here. And the problem was, there were two problems that I made for myself. One is the fact that I was down, I think it was, like I said, minus $140 by this time. So I was already in this mood of trying to make back losses. Mind you, I was a bit disciplined in making sure I find the right setup, but still, I was already in that mindset. So my first problem was that I was playing my P&L. Okay, P&L. And that was my first problem. Second problem was size. Now, I started with about 100 shares here, and I added another 100 shares here. Now, my average was about $43.30. Sorry, this is really bad. 43.30 was my average. And I was up by, well, when I got to here, I was up something like $70. So I'm thinking to myself, cool, you know, I'm virtually out of the hole here. And I didn't want to take profits because I know that I need to be a little bit more patient with allowing trades to kind of pan out. And this was going in a good direction. Now, unfortunately for me, what happened was that it then started a pretty big slide. Now, holding 200 shares, I think it was 200 shares at this stage. Now, I started adding on the downside. I added here. I think I added again around about here. And I added around about here to 50. And I was holding 550 shares. And I think this was pretty much my whole buying power, close to it. Now, you know, down here at $43, I'm down, I think $100 or something like that, 150. Down here, I'm about 250 down. Here I'm about 400 down or something like that. And mind you, I was very calm throughout this whole episode. Not once did I flinch, not once did I get very nervous. And when it started breaking, you know, below these whole dollar marks, so, you know, I started getting a little bit nervous when it started breaking below 43, obviously. Then when it broke below 42, I was getting quite concerned, but still not nervous. And in the end, I mean, my P&L was down $670 and I ended up cutting my losses here. Now, the lessons that I've learned from this, and mind you, this is still very fresh, and this is probably the hardest video I've ever had to record. And probably getting a bit emotional now at the moment, but because I want to make this work so bad, I find that I didn't quite have enough in my account in order to be able to trade it freely. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. When I started trading initially, I had about 30K in my account. So I had about $5,000 that I could play around with. I blew that account up, trading low flow momentum stocks and, you know, just learning, not really sure what I was doing. Then I topped it up again, another 5K. So I was back to about $30,000 again. And I lost that 5K again. Now, once again, this is going through that learning motion process of knowing your strategy, knowing how to trade. So, you know, the first $5,000 I can write off. The second $5,000 I can write off to stupidity and to being a little bit more aware, but still trying to survive, right? Because this is all about survival. And now I'm back under 25K again. Now, what that means is that I'm not going to be topping up again for the moment. Now, the reasons are that I started my trading journey about 1.5 years ago. And I was lucky enough to have saved up about 1.5 years worth of pay and savings in order for me to do that. So I haven't been working in a structured employment for pretty much 18 months. So I've been, you know, day trading here, learning, buying various programs and just really being focused on making day trading work out for me. And so, you know, the money's coming to an end. There's only a couple months worth left. And obviously, as a backup, I need to provide for my family. I need to make sure that I have enough money saved over at the end of the month in order for me to be able to live off. So it's quite simple, really. I've had to, unfortunately, go out and start looking for a career, not a career, but a job back in the corporate world, which is not ideal. But I know it's only temporary. Well, to some level, it's temporary, but it might take a bit of time. So the point is that I now have to put this on hold for a little bit. I can still simulate trade. I mean, there's no problem with paper trading, but I just need to be responsible, and I don't want to take any money out of my savings to put back towards my account. So the reason this happened is quite simple, in my opinion. I only had about, so when I topped up again, which was about 2 weeks ago, I only had a very, very small margin of error. Literally, I had $25,000, 400. So I had $400 that I could play with, and that's it. And I know that this played a big part because I was looking at my P&L very often, which I didn't normally do when I was in the simulator. I didn't have that breathing room, that kind of breathing space to allow me to to take the positions that I wanted, and in order to have them work out, right? So for me, the biggest lesson is, and I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew that it was going to be very challenging to try out of $400, excuse me, to build up towards, $3, $4, $5,000, which would give me that buffer. And I knew that was going to be very, very difficult. And it didn't work out. So, the plan going forward, guys, is that I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to definitely keep on trading. I'm going to keep on learning. I'm going to keep on reading books. I'm going to keep writing my blog. I've actually met a couple of bloggers, which I'm hoping we can work together on and create something cool. I'm definitely working on the journal. Now, the trading journal in its Excel format, I think is pretty good. I have to say, I'd give it 9 out of 10. But to make it even better and to give it to more people that can use it without having to know Excel very well, and to make it prettier and just a lot more streamlined, I've decided to create an app. It's a web-based application, and you can log in and you'll have pretty much all your trades in there once you import them. And I think it'll rival the other really big, well-known trading journals. So they're the things I'm working on. So come Monday, I'm not going to go live again because I think I'm on $24,600 or $24,700. So I need to have at least 300 to go back to 25K, and I'm just not willing to do that at the moment. So the plan is for the next week, I'm going to be in the simulator. I'm going to see how things go. And once I go back to the corporate world and can save up some more money, then that's when I'll be putting it back into my account. And then at the same time learning how to swing trade. And then at some point again in the future, when I'm able to, I will be able to focus on this 100%. So as I said, this is probably the lowest I've been for a while. But then I can't really be surprised either, because having $400 as a buffer is really not a lot of money. Now, mind you, I made $400 on Monday through Netflix, through that big spike on earnings. And Tuesday I lost 174, Wednesday I lost 100, and then Thursday $670. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I was down at its highest. I was down by about $250. So already there was something clearly wrong. And this was just the kind of kick in the balls, just to kind of break me, so to speak. But definitely going to keep going. I mean, this is one of the setbacks where it makes you stronger as a trader. And while it sucks to make this video, and it sucks not having slept 2 nights, and it sucks having to go through this thing in your mind for 48 hours, it's necessary. It's necessary for the soul. So anyway, I'll be back. I will talk to you guys soon, and see you Monday. Cheers. Bye.